on. Now here on the Amazon web page, if you want to do the scrapping, let's say if you want to search for some item and you want to scrap that, first thing you would require to do is reach to this search box, and to do so, Selenium provides you a list of locators. Now to use that locators, you would require a function, and that's what we're gonna learn today. So for that, what I'll do is I'll first close this particular window, and before I start, I would just like to request you, please subscribe to this channel, hit like button, put your comment and let me know how the video is, and then share this with your friends, and do not forget to hit this bell icon at the end so that you don't miss any of the videos. And for your surprise, all these things are absolutely free. So the functions which we're going to use over here is find element, right? So find element, and then the other one is find elements. These two we will understand over here. Let's start one by one. Find element takes two arguments. One is by class, then the other one is value. Both of these two are separated by a comma. This is the simplified version of it, right? So if you see over here we have by equals to this, and then value equals to this. So that is simplified by this way. Now let's go ahead and try to use this. For example, I will come to this script segment, and when we run this, in the previous videos I have covered all this thing, how to create a driver and then open a web page. So when I just run this particular patch of syntax, it will open Chrome browser, and in that it will open amazon.in. Now once that is open, what we're going to try is we need to access this particular search box. So for that, like I said, we can use the find element function. So to do that, we need to use the find element function on this driver object. Okay, so you can consider, when I say driver, that means I'm saying Amazon, right? So in Amazon, what is it that we want to look for? So for that, we want to look for, so we want to use find element function first, and in that we need to say what is the locator that we want to use. So we would have to check what is the locator that contains this particular search box. So for that, we need to come into this search box, right click and go on inspect. Once you are here, then just click on this particular arrow and come over here, hover on this. When you do this, you will get this syntax or the patch of code which is indicating to this search box. So this patch is something which is indicating to the search box. So if you see over here, the locator which we have is ID, and the value which we have is this. So we will just copy the value for this particular locator which is ID. Come back over here. So the locator which we had was ID. Before you use that, make sure that we always import this particular item. This is the class, right? So now you can say by dot ID and comma, in the double quote you can put the value. Now when you run this will access the search box. Let me try to put it at one side and this item at another side. Now when I run this, it will access the search box, but how we gonna know that? So to know that, first we will try to write something into it. Before that, we need to store this in a variable, which is, let's create that, let's say that search box. Okay, search box is the variable which we're gonna be creating over here. Once that is created, we need to type something into that search box. So to type something in the search box, we need to call a function which is called send keys. Send keys. Into that, I am trying to search HP laptops. This is the item which I will be searching. Now let's run this. When you run this, this is what will happen. You see in the search box, it is just written, right? Now this is written, but after that, what we need to do is we need to click on this search button also. So for that, again also we need to find this search button first. So again, I will right click that, go on inspect, and let's try to find the locator for that search icon over here. Now when you click this is the locator we got. Again, here we have the ID locator, and this is the value which we have. Now again, I will close this particular thing, come back over here and just say driver because that click button is on Amazon page, not in the search box. So that's why we are going to say driver dot find element, and in the box we're gonna use by dot id, and the value is this. Now when you run this, let's see what happens. So this patch will just access to the search button. When we reach to that button, we also need to click that. So we're gonna call the click function on this particular object, right? So when you create any object and put a dot, then you will get a list of functions which you can call on this, right? So you see, these all are the things. So we're gonna call click over here. Now if you run this particular item, what will happen? It will first reach to the search box, type HP laptop, and then click the search button. But there is a problem which is going to happen. Let me show it to you. Well, it did all the things. It tried to search for the HP laptop, but did you realize that it wrote the HP laptop twice? Why is that so? Because once it was already written into that. So the way of doing this is, before you start searching something into the search box, make sure that you clear that. Okay, search underscore box dot clear. Now when you run this, then see what happens. Whatever was written previously, that has gone, and again new item has been searched, and here we have list of all the HP laptops. Very well, right? Isn't it? So this is how we use the find element function. So here you saw one locator which is ID. There are list of locators, 8 locators which we can use. ID we just saw. Next thing which we will try is XPath. Let me show it to you. Let's come back over here and let me take another example. So for example, over here we search for the HP laptop, and here we have one laptop, this one, right? Now we need to fetch this particular item, right? How we can do that? Again, right click, go to inspect. Let me make it bigger, and over here I will just take this thing and come over here. Now here we got this item selected, but if you notice over here, we don't have any of the locators. You won't see any of this locator over there, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use XPath. So to use the XPath, I have covered in the previous video, but here I will just directly write it. I will say click on this item, Control F, and in this box I will write the XPath and see if that is selecting it or not. So / HTML tag, which is span, square bracket, and the attribute which is class. I just made a mistake. The mistake is, first I should had to copy the value which we had in class attribute. So what we're gonna do is I will just click this, hover on this, right, and from here I'll just copy this particular item. Now come over here, and in this I will just put this thing, close this bracket. Alright, so I just need to put this thing in the quotation, single quotation I just used. Now if you see, it searched this particular item and it says there are 23 such items available on this particular page. Let's take this, go back to the script over here and come right over here below this, write driver dot find element into this by dot id, and not id here, we are not having id, right? So what we use is, what we're gonna use is XPath. So in XPath, the value which we put is this. So this is the XPath which we want to access, right? Now once this is accessed, whatever result comes in, we will put that in a variable called item. Now let's select this and run it. Done. This is executed. Now once this is executed, let's try to print this particular thing. Item. When you print this, what's gonna happen? Let's see. Here it is writing something. So these all are looking like any alien language. What we are expecting over here is this kind of name, HP Pavilion 14 or something like that, right? So how we're gonna get that is on this particular object we will call this text. We'll use text and run this. Now when you execute this over here, you see you got the exact first item which was selected. So this is how you saw we use the XPath locator, two locators we just learned. Now the another point which you should notice is over here you saw it says there are 23 such items available on this page, but over here it just gave us one item. So what is the way, how can we fetch all those 23 items? So that's what I'm gonna show you over here. Before that, you saw we use the ID locator, XPath locator by using find element function, but on another side Selenium also provide the specific find element function for the specific locators, and here we have all those lists. Find element by ID, name, XPath, these are all those locators which we had, and we have one find element for each of these items, right? So you can use this. How can you use this? Simple, you can say driver dot find element. This thing you can simply use this particular part. Sorry, so I'm just going to show you a demo. So here you have find element, you can simply say by ID, and when you do that you just need to remove this part. And when you run that, it's gonna work the same way what we did. The same thing will happen, right? So if you want, you can just try running this. Let's try running this, if this gives the error or what. Let's see that. Well, it worked, right? It is just opening the web page. I just executed all of those, so that's why it is doing everything once again. It is searching for HP laptop, click that, and here we got the list of HP laptops, and the first item is also extracted over here. You see, first item is extracted and printed. So this is how you can use these particular individual functions, but here we were concerned about using finding all those 23 items, right? So how can you do that? So to do that, what we need to do is we need to use find elements function. It's the same thing, it's just it will look for multiple items, everything is going to remain same. So for that, what we're gonna do is whatever syntax we wrote over here to search this particular thing, in this we will simply come and put s, and now when you execute this will make a list of the items. Let's run this. We are done with executing that. Now let's try to check the type of this item. This should be list. You see, it says list. Now if you want to see the items, let's check the length of this thing. Len item. So for that, what we're gonna do, this is, you see, 24. Looks like it has extracted some other items also. 23 was there, which we will see in the upcoming videos, but the point is here it fetched all those items which were available on the particular page. Now if you want to print each of the item, if you need to print, so what we're gonna do is we will simply say for x in item print x dot text. Now when you run this, here we got all those items printed right over here. You see, all those items are printed. 23, 24 items are printed over here. So this is how you can use find element function, find element or find elements. I just hope that it was clear to you. Thank you very much for watching the video. Wish you very